Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Melissa, and I will be presenting today's seminar together with my colleague Surya. And before we start, I would love to thank our partners for making this possible, and also, again, remind you that this is recorded. Please be mindful of others when speaking, and please keep your microphone off until the Q&A. If you should have any questions, then feel free to write in the chat box. We will look at it by at the end of the presentation. Of course, always be respectful with each other, but most importantly, have a great time and enjoy the presentation. Today's seminar is about social media strategies, and the content of today's seminar. Yes, and the content of today's seminar is how to get noticed as an artist, the 9 social media marketing tips for artists selling art online, and tips for using Instagram to grow your art practice. Offline art promotion. So, as many of us know, online art promotion is very effective and a really, really important aspect of promoting yourself and your art. But no matter how effective online promotion is, please do not forget the power of art promotion in real life. Because if people get to see your physical art in real life and actually interact with it, they will most likely remember it. And I really believe that offline art promotions are always a good way to establish good relationships as well, and to maybe get to know fellow artists, which then could help you to collaborate in the future. But we will get to that later on. Organizing your own art show. So if you want to organize your own art show, then make sure to have a specific theme to tie the whole show together. So make sure that people know, okay, this is about art. And you can also consider making it a group show, because more artists obviously mean that there will be more awareness about the show. And you always, you don't have to stick to traditional options such as renting galleries, because we all know it's great, but trust me, any kind of open and accessible area would work perfectly fine for you, so don't worry about that. And put a lot of effort in a great show poster, because the show poster is going to be the first thing that people see, and that means that the more eye-catchy it is, the more people will get aware about the show and actually participate. Another marketing tool is networking, I believe. I really suggest you guys to attend art exhibitions and fairs, because there are so many people with the same interests, such as art lovers, professional artists, gallery owners, and agents. So those people could actually help you to market your art by sharing it, or even keep you updated with information about new opportunities. So for that, always make sure to bring a business card with you to hand them out there, because obviously it's going to make you look professional, and it will definitely help the others to reach out to you easily, because those business cards obviously include your name, your contact details as well. And another thing is to join artist organizations. I believe it's a great way to actually network with other artists. And as I said in the beginning, you can always consider future collaborations. So definitely keep that in mind. Those organizations also provide workshops and artist promotions, as well as advocacy. So definitely consider those organizations. Community-minded artist marketing. So here, I really suggest you to be present in your own community and in your neighborhood. Get out there. It's a good way to actually promote your art and to get to know other fellow artists that are in your community. And you could, for example, participate into charity auctions and donate your artworks, for example, or you could volunteer and teach at community centers, which are free schools in neighborhoods. And by teaching there, you could basically make or create awareness of you and of your work. And all these, donating and volunteering would look so amazing on your resume, believe me. And it will also make you look like a very generous artist who's not only caring about sales, but also about community. And that's really important and would give you definitely amazing credits. How to get art noticed when you're new. So for new artists, I believe that the great artist promotion strategy is to collaborate with another artist. You really don't have to navigate yourself through the art world completely alone. So just reach out to other artists and think about collaborating with them, and this will definitely lead to more awareness of the work you both achieved, because both parties have a community, and together, if you work together, the artist community will be getting aware of your artworks, and then the other way around. So it's basically a win-win for both of you. Also, be very creative, think outside of the box. You can, for example, as the slide says, find a band that needs cover art for their next album. So as you can see, there are so many interesting creative ways to promote yourself and your artwork. So just be creative and think outside of the box. Applying for grants definitely also helps gaining recognition as an artist. I know that some people like to promote the work they've supported, which definitely could lead to social media coverage. I'm also really suggesting everyone to place your art in film and TV projects. So this could be anything from like providing your paintings so they can hang in the background of the movie, for example, or even business logos or storefronts, because this will definitely lead to so many eyes on your work, because your name is going to be listed in the project's credits. Submit your work to art posting websites. I love suggesting that because it's really easy to do, and actually really fun way to promote yourself, because even though there aren't any active competitors, you can still do it. So don't worry about that. It's a great way to expose yourself and to reach a new audience, like a completely new audience. And I really, really like that. And I always suggest to check if there are any specific requirements, if they look for a special theme or a type of art, and then submit your work. How to get your art noticed on social media. So in the beginning, we talked about offline art promotions, but now let's talk about social media. So to get the best out of your social media presence is actually, you actually need a solid social media strategy. You also definitely need an understanding of your account analytics. So if you are new to this topic, then I really highly suggest you to have a look at how those analytics work, and have a look on your current at your current analytics and see if they need improvements, and do a lot of research and learn techniques to constantly reach a wider audience. Create a strategy for marketing art online. If you want to market art online, then you definitely have to start with creating a strategy before actually starting with the marketing, because you can start marketing without having a specific goal in mind. It's so hard, and it's going to be harder for the progress. And I highly suggest to include a goal in the strategy. What do you want to get out of this campaign? Set a specific goal for yourself, and then set a target. What kind of people do you want to target? And also know which kind of platforms you're going to use. So these things are very important to consider when you create a social media strategy. set up a business account on Facebook and Instagram. Business accounts on social media compared to personal accounts are so much better to promote your work actually online. And it definitely looks more professional. And those accounts also have a better access to more analytic tools to improve your social media marketing, which would then, of course, lead you to help you to create more awareness and reach more people. So with that data, you will basically be able to see what content was the best and most effective in the past. Get your followers to promote for you. So if you want someone to promote for you, then peer-to-peer promotion is one of the best for social media strategy. You just basically get your followers to promote you on your behalf. And one way to do that is through contest. And as an artist, there are many ways you can actually entice people to participate. So for example, it could be a task participant who's creating a post about their favorite piece from your portfolio, and then they just offer your artwork as a prize. And it's a really interacting and interesting way to promote your work actually. Cross promote with other artists. Guys, there are so many artists with the same position as you. Like they're all looking for a way to actually promote their work. And I believe that one of the easiest ways is cross promoting with another artist, because what you simply do is just highlighting the artist's work and then just explaining what you actually like about it. So that is not only easy, but it will also get a lot of eyes on your work, because again, cross promoting means also that the other party's community will get aware of you. So definitely consider that, and don't worry about sending potential clients to a competitor, because everyone's taste in art is different. So you don't have to worry about that. Track your progress with analytic tools. Apps such as Facebook and Instagram actually provide analytic tools that can help you to see how good your social media promotion actually worked. So what you can do is have a look at those analytics and then compare your performance with the post that you previously had and like your social media strategies. And then you could have a better understanding of which marketing effort would actually work well for you and which doesn't. And then you just adapt to that. Be inspired by your fellow artists online. We are all looking for inspirations online. Doesn't matter for what, we are always looking up some stuff on Google, looking up people on social media. So why should we not do that to grow our own account? What I really suggest you is to study the accounts of people you actually look up to. Can also be any artist that actually mastered self-promotion. And then just have a look at their profile, check what kind of photos they post, check how they post those images, and on which days they post it. So the scheduling is also very important. And by doing that, you will also get a kind of idea of what you can do better. Use post scheduling tools. I cannot stress enough about how important it is to constantly post fresh content. It's really one of the easiest and also greatest way of keeping your followers engaged and even attract new ones. And I understand it can really be hard to do this all the time, keep constantly posting. We're all busy. I totally understand, but trust me, there are so many scheduling tools to make it so much easier for you to post constantly. And again, those analytics of your business account would also show you on which days to post, because this is also very important. Let's assume you post on a Monday at 10 a.m. It's the beginning of the week and everyone is at work, which means that no one is going to be on social media. And if you post your beautiful artwork at 10 a.m. on a Monday, then no one is going to see it, or even just less people are going to see it, So make sure to check which days are best for you to post in order to reach a wider audience. Start a Facebook ad campaign. I know this kind of sounds expensive, but I can promise you advertising on Facebook is not as expensive as you might think it is. You can even just start by spending $1. So like Facebook actually offers you a lot of flexibility. You can, start just from a small, just start small and then scale up. And you also have the opportunity to test different art promotion formats. So you can decide if you want to have a photo ad or a video ad, and try out different things and then see which kind of format your audience actually prefers. And that will help you a lot of getting attention. Great. Now my colleague Surya is going to introduce you to the 9 social media marketing tips, and we'll continue on with the rest of the seminar. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that introduction, Mel. So yes, I will be starting with the 9 social media marketing tips for artists in regards to selling your art online. So in regards to these tips, they are very helpful, but you have to keep in mind that there are many variables that play a part in it. So there could be different outcomes or different results that you will have depending on what's surrounding your situation. So the best way to succeed is for you to try all these ideas and assess the outcome. So develop a strategy based on what's working for you, because it's different for everybody else. What's working for me might not work for you. So you need to analyze your own results and create a strategy based on that. The first tip that I'm going to give you is to create content. It seems easy enough, but there's a bit more to it than just simply creating content. To succeed, you'll have to create a content that engages and excites your audience. You want your audience to actually pay attention to what you post and not scroll past it. So you'll have to create fun and loving content that people will actually relate to and stop scrolling and actually pay attention to your posts. The content that you write has to be shared on all your social media platforms. So if you, for example, have a new artwork, you have to post it on all your platforms. If it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, doesn't matter. You have to be consistent and post it on all 3 so that your audience will recognize consistency within you as an artist. If you have, for example, an art blog, which is very helpful as an artist, if you have a new post on that blog, you can make a teaser post on, for example, Instagram to catch their attention and make a beautiful headline for it to make sure that they actually click on it. Your content has to be valuable and entertaining to them, so make sure that you keep it fun and lighthearted and make sure that it has valuable information for them. You don't want to waste their time and you actually want them to finish reading your post. So make sure that it's not too long and it doesn't have too difficult of a language. Keep it fun and simple. If you have a blog post, make sure that at the end of the blog post, you will add a quick call to action to redirect your audience where you want them. So don't just end the post with thank you for reading or anything. No, just link your social media, link your Etsy shop, link your art platform which you are joined with. Just make sure that you redirect your audience to somewhere where they can see your art, where they can buy it, or where they can view more of you and showcase you as an artist. The second tip would be to develop a plan. After you finally realize what you want to accomplish with your marketing strategies, you'll have to take time to learn about the platforms that you're using. Each platform is unique and the ways of engaging is also different for them. You cannot use the same strategy for all of them. Facebook works differently, Instagram works differently, Twitter works differently. There's also an art platform called Behance and it works differently as well. So what you have to do is you have to learn the ways of engaging on each platform, how people operate, what type of content they share, and how the posts are usually spread around. That also includes the use of certain hashtags or keywords. You'll have to learn how each platform works. You also have to learn, like Melissa mentioned, the best times to post, because like she said, if you post 10 a.m. on the Monday morning, the chances are that not a lot of people will see it. So use your analytics tool to find out what the best time is to post. Also, you have to learn how other artists market their platform. So you will have to learn from each other. There are many artists out there on each platform, and you can find the artists that you look up to, or just a well established artist, and basically kind of stalk them and make sure to see what they're posting, when they're posting it, what type of content they have, and make sure that you know what's working for them and try it out for yourself. So that way you can learn how to be social on each site. Their method might not work for you, but it's still a good way to try and see if it is applicable. Once you figure out all these elements, you can start developing a unique plan for each platform. So, like I said, each platform is different and the ways of engaging is also different. So, you can't use the same strategy for every social media platform. You're going to have to make a unique one for each. The third tip is to publish consistently. The only way that your results are going to be seen is by being consistent. It doesn't matter how many times you post, whether it's one time, whether it's 10 times, it matters how consistent you are with your schedule because your audience will notice a pattern between when you're posting. So if you normally post once a month and you suddenly have an exhibition and you'll post 10 times a day, it's inconsistent and it's not appealing to your audience. So make sure that you keep that in mind. This is the same for being inactive. If you are used to posting 10 posts a day and then you're inactive for a month, your audience will forget about you. Or they could assume you're not selling any art anymore. For example, I'm a curator assistant at Victory Art, so I look for new artists on the internet, and sometimes there are some really cool artists, and I check out their profile and their portfolios, and I noticed that they're quite inconsistent, and their last post was maybe 20 weeks ago, and I question if they're still creating art. So make sure that you don't create this doubt for your audience, as they could assume that you're not selling any art anymore. So to start, you can start slow by, for example, scheduling a post once a day. Like Melissa mentioned, you can schedule your posts. There are many tools to help you out with that. So when you start scheduling your post, which is also called social media calendar, you will have to answer a few questions to make sure you create a consistent one. So how often will you publish? What social media platforms will you be posting on? What type of content will you be providing for each platform? And how often will you reach out to your followers and influencers? Once you've answered these questions, you can start creating your social media calendar. The fourth tip is to post quality content. So quality will always be quantity. If you post 10 low quality pictures of your artwork, it won't have the same effect as posting it one high quality, good caption, headline. It will have a bigger impact on your audience. You'll have to respect your readers' time and provide your best content. When you're scrolling through social media, you don't want to see time-consuming posts with no actual valuable information. No, you actually want to see content that you like. So for your followers, you have to do the same. Make sure that what you're posting is top quality, and that can take some time, especially if you're new as an artist. So make sure that you take some time to create those posts and kind of start determining how long it takes you, because for everybody it's different. It may take longer for you than for someone else, but just decide on how long it'll take you, and then based on that you can make your schedule for when and how you're going to create this content. Because if you actually want people to stop scrolling and see your post, you have to make sure that it's a good post. 5 is the use of images. People are attracted to images because they can process it quicker than text. And you guys are artists, so visual stories are basically easy for you. You guys live off the visuals, your expertise in that field. So when you're sharing any type of text on whichever platform, make sure to include an image, preferably eye-catching image that will just make them stop and say, wow, I want to read more about that. So make sure to include a link where the reader can read more about the subject that you're sharing, whether it's your blog, a new artwork, it doesn't matter. Just make sure to redirect them somewhere. You can also create beautiful images for your social media by using Canva or PicMonkey. Next, we have A/B testing. Doesn't matter how much effort you put into your content. Sometimes it just doesn't get the view that you want. Only 2 out of the 10 people will actually read the content that you are sharing after reading your headline, because the headline is very important. And the main reason you're actually creating content is to build an online presence. So you have to put in the time to write a great headline, because it doesn't matter how amazing your content is, how amazing your art blog is. If you don't have a really good headline, chances are not a lot of people will click on it. So there's a few tips for writing better headlines. You can use between 6 and 9 words per title. Don't make it too long, but also not too short. Just keep it between 6 and 9 words, just attract their attention. Numbers in the headline are always good to use, because we always tend to click on those. For example, those 9 ways to lose weight in a month. Like, a lot of people click on those ads because it's eye catching. And you can also use the how to method, because that attracts a lot of readers' attention. So even if you use all these tips, which are all good, of course, you won't know if the headline works for you unless you publish it. So that's why A/B testing will kind of give you an upper hand. A/B testing is when you use the same content, but you will use 2 different headlines. And then after publishing both headlines, you can compare the results with each other to see which one works. The strategy is mostly used for blog posts and landing pages, but you can also use it for your social media posts. Instead of posting your blog once on your social media or platforms, you can post it throughout the day or week with different headlines. And you never know, a different title might cause an unusual reaction, and you can suddenly have a viral post. So make sure to keep that in mind. Analyzing your results is very important. It doesn't matter how amazing your strategy is. If you don't analyze your results, you're going to go in circles and you will not see any progress. It's essential to analyze your results to actually build your online business. And you have to know what's working for you and what's wasting your time. Most platforms have an analytics section, like Melissa mentioned, so make sure to have a look at it and use that information to get to know your audience and establish some trust with it. After you've established trust with your audience, you can start selling your art, because they won't buy art from someone they don't trust. In most cases, the art is only sold after you have gained their trust through being a genuine artist and creating good quality content. Next tip is joining groups. So on Facebook or Twitter or whatever platform you're joining, if they have groups, please consider joining them. The groups that you're joining have to be related to your artistic styles and goals, of course. After joining it, you'll have to spend some time observing how people communicate within the group, how people communicate in the group. So don't just start plugging in your art or like posting and spamming them, or else you can get blocked. So use the groups to share your knowledge and help people, and that will help you establish yourself as an artist. 9 might seem a little obvious, but it's still important. You have to be social. You're trying to build a community and not just be on the social platform as a really giant ad for your art. No, you're trying to provide valuable content and entertain your audience. And basically, you're trying to understand them and establish trust. In between those posts of sharing your progress and your works, you can add some information about how they can buy your work or where you're selling your art, but just don't make it all about buying your art. As an artist, just focus on helping. Next, I'm going to have some simple tips for using Instagram to post images. It's more than just posting images. For you as an artist, it's actually a visual playground for publishing images. You can also connect with other artists and find an inspirational board for different arts, where you can just make a whole collection for yourself of art that you like and get some inspiration of it for your next work. You'll have to focus on engagement and not your followers count. For some artists, likes and followers and comments can be a source of validation. And although those things are indeed nice, they should not be a qualifier for how you are as an artist, or else you can actually lead to a path of self-destruction. Just share the work that you feel about passionately and personally, and share that with your audience to show how genuine you are. And I assure you, you will have a bigger impact on them than if you just try to get likes. Third is to be honest. Try not to take yourself too seriously on social media. It's social media. Just give your audience a true look into your life and the best way to connect. Be honest with them how and where you're working, and make sure to post in progress shots or time loops of creating your artwork along with your finished pieces, as people really love seeing how the art was created. And lastly, you have to consider the details of your post. So use a strategic approach based on your goals in your post. For example, if you want people to see your work, you'll have to pay attention to when you want to post and when people are most active on your page. That way you can assure that a lot of people will see it. You'll have to avoid posting in the style of an influencer, like blogging or posting consistently with other brands, as it can distract from the thing you want them to focus on, which is your art. So use social media as a way to foster a community instead of simply using it for blind promotion. Thank you so much for joining today's seminar. Next week, we will be discussing the storytelling on social media, a gallery do's and don'ts, and how to find a gallery that suits you. So thank you so much for joining us. Once again, does anybody have any questions to ask us? Now, if nobody has, you can post it in the chat box. If you don't feel comfortable talking, just unmute your mic and ask us. That's also an option. And before I get finish this seminar, I would like to remind you that we have free consultancy sessions starting next year. So if you want to sign up, please don't forget to email us at curator@victoryart.eu. Thank you so much for joining us. And are you sure there's no questions? If not, I would like to thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yes, also for me, thank you very much for joining us on this seminar. It was a pleasure for me to tell you about all those social media strategies, and I hope you had a great time. Thank you very much. I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed it. If there are no questions, I wish you a great evening, and I really hope that you will enjoy your weekend.